so they had to find another celebrity, sports athlete. So they went with Raw because they know that he's a fan of wrestling. So
that's just okay. But okay, fair enough. I give you that. But what the heck are they going to do with Mojo Rawley? Is he now trying to be the individual competitor?
I mean, I get what they did. Baron Corbin, he's not really. He's a lone wolf. He's been a lone wolf since he started. So,
but Mojo started with as a tag team. He started with Zack Ryder. Well, a lot of people remember him with Zack Ryder.
Emma started with Zack Ryder.
It's true.
Oh,
hey-oh.
Now he went to NXT. Oh.
Yeah, ouch. So does that mean that Mojo's now we're going to try and see a little bit of a push? Maybe we'll see him being IC champion in the future. Why give it to someone that's really no one was like, really? Him? I mean, a lot of people were like that. I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people were like, wow, it's kind of random. Why not give it to some of the big names? Whether it be
I mean, they probably didn't want to make it the obvious after the Big Show. That became like, okay, let's give to someone we don't really expect to win. But
because a lot of people expected Sami Zayn.
No, they really expect some big guys like Braun or Big Show winning it.
Right.
But yet they end up losing. I didn't get to see the pre-show, so I wanted to know really what happened. But so they really didn't want them to win because, I mean, they're the big men, so you expect to have the little other guys jump on them.
Well, the three big men that were in it, of course, was Big Show and Braun Strowman. Mm-hmm. They also had Mark Henry. Mm-hmm. Mark Henry lasted a while, and then the next thing you know, we were like, okay, well, all three of them get knocked out because everyone ganged up on everybody. Yeah. But then you have Sami Zayn that was still in there. Dolph Ziggler was in there, which Dolph Ziggler can be a hit or miss depending on whose good side he is at that time. Apparently he was on the bad side because he got pushed out quickly. But then, so everyone thought, okay, Sami Zayn could win this. Then you did randomly put, I mean, that is a random person. I mean, there were a few other random players. Who
was the last? Do you remember who?
It was Mojo Rawley, and I can't think of his name all of a sudden.
I know, I've seen it somewhere, but yeah, I forgot who.
He wore the turban.
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal, thank you. I couldn't
click when you said no racial, but
no, but that's why I tried to be careful on how I said it too, because I wasn't trying to put it out there. But as soon as I say a turban, it makes things a little bit clearer.
No, like I said, I remember some weird name, not really weird, but I should know it was someone like that. So when you said that, okay, I know who it is. But see, either both of them was like really, those are the final two.
Yeah, those were your final two, and Mojo Rawley wins it.
And like overall, there's nothing to be proud. I mean, you're proud to win that, but I mean, you don't get nothing from it.
What threw me off is that you go Cruiserweight Championship, which everyone was like, wow, this was actually pretty good. This might be a good WrestleMania, and then you go and have a little bit of a dud in this Andre the Giant Memorial. I get it, but at the same time, you had a good Cruiserweight Championship. You had a good match.
Yeah, of course you're going to have a good match, and pretty much that would be like your, hey, let's go get something to eat.
Yeah, that's kind of what that was.
Let's go get, and it's going to be a long time because it's a battle royal.
You're right. That one was a long time. Then they were finishing off their the pre-show, but this one was rushed. This one to me was rushed. The Intercontinental Championship between Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin. Dean Ambrose being the champion. This one seemed like a rush. Like, oh crud, we didn't realize we're running out of time, and this is a pre-show. It's time to get done. Mm-hmm. So Dean Ambrose wins. Baron Corbin looks like he was going to possibly win this one. It was a couple of kickouts. Nothing really exciting about this one other than Dean Ambrose wins again. So, okay, we move on from there. Mm-hmm. Then it came to AJ Styles and Shane McMahon.
Start of the first
This was the very first match
for WrestleMania.
And go figure that a guy that was part of the Attitude Era had to pretty much show the young guys how things were done. And I'm not talking about AJ Styles. I'm talking about everybody else in that locker room. So AJ Styles, who's a longtime veteran, has been around everywhere, and that's why I'm not saying that he's involved in that whole discussion I just had. AJ Styles and Shane McMahon put on a very, very good match. I would say that if anything, this was probably a 1A but 1B category on probably top matches, because I think we got at least one or maybe two other matches that were probably really good. AJ Styles was fed off of Shane McMahon extremely well. Shane McMahon fed off of AJ Styles extremely well. This match, I could have watched it 3 different times. I could probably go home right now, watch it, and still be extremely excited at the way that this match was played.
Yeah, I mean, they worked well together. The moveset was pretty much on point. I feel bad for Shane McMahon. These 2 off the top ropes miss.
Yes.
But, wow.
He looked like he overshot that one, by the way.
Which one?
The off the rope towards the announce table.
Oh, okay.
He looked like he overshot that a little bit, but still.
It was too high. It was too far when he didn't measure it right. But, I mean, yeah. No, that's pretty much... And they made a good choice on making that the first match of the night, because the crowd pretty much was high for both teams, for both players. And I would just have to say that pretty much was one of the top matches, if not overall match itself for the night. And what do you expect at SmackDown Live? I mean, SmackDown. So
yeah, SmackDown Live set a tone, and it was kind of like the, okay, I just did this, what can you top kind of match. And they brought in, the next match was Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho being the champion. United States champion, thank you. And it turned out that Kevin Owens wins. He's the new U.S. champion.
He almost lost, but the finger saved Kevin Owens.
The one finger hits the bottom rope, and that's how he's able to kind of keep himself alive. Overall, another good match. Not going to say one of the best matches. I would say that this would probably be category 3 in best matches. Probably not the best, not the second best, but it definitely was one of the better matches of the night. I still say that the Cruiserweight would probably at this point be number 4, and Mojo Rawley be dead last at this point, if we're kind of grading at this point.
Okay.
And once again, because I know you didn't see those pre-matches, but the Kevin Owens match, but yeah, once again, it's another situation. This time a little bit different than the AJ Styles Shane McMahon one. A little bit of a rivalry, but at the same time, these two competitors know each other extremely well. They've hung around each other for, what was it? I believe they said 6 months, 6 to 8 months, where they were doing the best friends gimmick, and so they got an opportunity to learn the movesets, work on the movesets together. They probably knew that that whole relationship at this point was never going to work out. They probably were factoring that this match was already going to be scheduled for WrestleMania back 8 months ago.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you pretty much would see it no matter how you see it. I mean, that's why I believe WWE is pretty much predictable. I mean, you know what's going to happen. I mean, there's certain things that I told my brother before it happened, and I told him, just watch, this thing's going to happen. And move forward to what happened Raw with Kurt Angle. I told him that he's going to be the new GM couple months ago, and look what happened. He was a he's a GM. But going back to Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho, love the chemistry. Same thing with the AJ Styles and Shane McMahon. They pretty much were feeding off each other. I mean, the whole, like, Kevin Owens is a heel, but the of course he had the humor with the finger saving him, and then go fast forward again with Monday Night Raw. I don't know if you saw it, but Chris Jericho put Kevin Owens' finger on the list. So
did he?
Yeah. So I didn't get to watch it, but my brother told me about it. So yeah.
If you watch after that, I believe it was after the one of Jericho's signature moves. You could actually watch Kevin Owens kind of slide his shoulder just enough, just to put his finger on there. You could watch him do it like he was going to set that up. You knew that he was going to do something to where he could do it. But it was a good match. Once again,
there were a couple like that. I think it was during, I don't know which women's match it was or something like that. One of the wrestlers, when someone hit the finisher move, the slight move, and then someone went off the top rope, was like, oh, that's why they set it up that way. Like, okay.
Speaking of Raw championship matches, the first one was Raw Women's Championship. Bayley versus Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. Thank you. Why the hell is Nia Jax even in this match? I mean, I get why she got in, but why was she even in the match? She got eliminated first. She wasn't even a factor, and she got booted. Like, she beat up a couple of wrestlers to start, and then that was it.
Because for one, they want to make sure the players are pretty much healthy from Raw, especially from the women's side, because they don't really have that much on the women's side. Pretty much that's all you really have in that division,
Right.
when it comes to Raw. So okay, let's add Nia Jax, and then we already know that she's not gonna do anything really. We knew that they're gonna triple team her no matter what happened. So my next question was, how they're gonna do? They're gonna have Charlotte versus Bayley left, or it was Sasha Banks gonna turn on Bayley and Bayley's gonna lose her title that way, and whoever wins become for Flair Banks to win the championship. But good to see Bayley win that. She will be coming home to Payback as a champion to her hometown.
Do we feel? I mean, I do. And do we feel like we kind of got cheated on this one? Because I think there was so much more that could have been done with the storyline between Sasha Banks and Bayley. Mm-hmm. If Sasha Banks would have beaten, or it would have been a Sasha Banks versus Bayley final.
Not really, because I mean they didn't really set it up yet. They needed to set it where I would say if it was Banks versus Bayley in the end, like if she turns on Bayley in the end, and then Charlotte Flair gets pinned, whatever. Now that's become okay. Let's go. But I'm hearing that they're saving the Sasha Banks versus Bayley for SummerSlam. So
that would be good. I could see that. I just think that if in the biggest stage, and SummerSlam is the second biggest stage, I think we can all agree with that. But in the biggest stage that is WrestleMania, I think it helps with storylines to at least add more storylines if something else would have happened, whether it be Sasha Banks loses and she turns on Bayley and Charlotte wins, or Sasha Banks turns on Bayley, somehow Bayley still wins, but now it sets up for Payback and a little bit of a rivalry for a couple of pay-per-views. I think there's a little bit more there that we kind of missed out on that the WWE messed us out of. But with that understanding in mind, we still understand that there's maybe something more to it. I just think right now we may have missed a little bit on that match.
Well, yeah, and then plus they didn't really want to start any feuds now because, like I said, if you didn't see Raw, Vince McMahon saying that there's going to be a shakeup between SmackDown and Raw, so they're going to probably be. It's not a draft because it's not a draft. It's
some trades.
They're going to be changing, so you might see Charlotte Flair go into Raw or go into SmackDown, somewhat like that. Because I mean, they're not going to have Charlotte Flair be up there again. She's going to probably dumb down to a mid card versus probably against Emma or something like that.
Possibly. Moving on to the triple threat that was supposed to be tag team ladder match, and that was between Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the champions, versus Sheamus and Cesaro, versus... Why is the other team all of a sudden slipping my mind?
Really?
It all of a sudden is.
Really?
It really is. What's the other team?
Really?
What's the other team? Oh, yeah! A couple of haters! Big Cass and Enzo Amore. And
New Day comes out.
New Day starts clapping around, and that doing their New Day still sucks.
No, they don't. No, they don't. New Day rocks.
They're horrible. And they were... What the hell was even the point of being the host if you were only out twice?
Twice?
I think they were only out twice. Maybe 3 times.
3 times. I mean, they're hosts. They're not supposed to be there every match. Well, you can complain. They're hosts, but why they're always coming out? No,
they could have cut down the freaking music montage that they had and at least been okay with this.
I just didn't get the whole when they went in the intro. Like, that was no point of it.
Yeah.
That was no point. But, I mean, they're the hosts. I mean, they're going to host.
Yeah.
Host. Oh, I didn't want to make sure I said that. Because they were like, ho.
Ho.
So, yeah.
But anyway, so they come out and they announce Jeff and Matt Hardy.
The
Hardy Boys.
The Elite.
Delete and come back out. And they put on one hell of a show.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this would probably be... Well, so I have a 1A, 1B category. But this would probably be the 2. This was actually a really good match as well. Mm-hmm. Everybody worked really well. And I thought it was very surprising considering...
And it wasn't sloppy.
No.
Pretty much what you expect when it comes to a tag team in a ladder match where you can, they're going to botch moves and all that. No, they were pretty much on point. But I think what helped them was the Hardy Boys because, they were in charge when it comes to ladder matches. So to actually see them help out with that match, it pretty much. And once they made that into a ladder match, like I said, I had a feeling. Well, I knew that the Hardy Boys was going to come out during that time.
Yeah, it was. Well, at first, I think a lot of people were expecting. When they see New Day come out, they look like they were about to wrestle. Mm-hmm. In fact, you even heard the announcers go, man, they look like they're about to wrestle. I was like, okay, I could run with this. Mm-hmm. They're the host. We'll put them in a tag team championship match. Then all of a sudden they come out with the Hardy Boys. I was like, wow. One, that was completely unselfish because they could have easily taken the opportunity to go in a tag team match. I understand that this was already pre-planned and already set up. Mm-hmm. But it could have easily been the New Day versus the rest of those teams. Mm-hmm. But the Hardy Boys come out, they win the championship. They did it extremely well. I think it was a great match. I think that I would say that this was probably my second best match of the night right now throughout everything.
This is my third match.
Because I have a 1A, 1B. It's hard for me to kind of put two. So I
make it more easier. It's just my 1, 2, 3. You make everything so difficult, Jeff.
I know I do.
Calm down.
Well, you need to shut your mouth and know your role. But then it goes to the John Cena and Nikki Bella versus Miz and Maurice.
No lie, I fell asleep in this match.
I think half of America probably did, unless you love Total Divas or whatever the name of that other show is.
I love the Miz and Maurice better when they did the whole parody with that show.
Oh, absolutely. It was good. John Cena and Nikki Bella win. And then probably one of the most staged freaking proposals in my life I've ever seen. John Cena asked Nikki Bella to marry him.
Yep, and I don't know if you noticed... My brother noticed that, but the producers the camera crew for Total Divas was there too. So yeah,
there was a lot of speculation on it. I get it, but at the same time, it was so staged that no one cared at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
except for family members.
Cena, of course, all cares about himself. He always won.
And you know what? And if nothing was to come of between them two. Nikki Bella has started her own thing, her own franchise. She would be just fine. None of this was relied on just John Cena's name.
Yes, it is.
No. Yes, Nikki Bella and the Bella twins became an item before they started getting together. Well, they started making money, and then all of a sudden...
They got money, but they got pretty much top-notch when they put their names... Daniel Bryan and John Cena.
When they started getting together, yes, I get it. But the Bella twins were becoming more of a name before that all happened. The only thing that it did is just advance it a little bit faster and more. That's really all it did.
I mean, they're learning this. That's what Triple H did with Stephanie McMahon, but
fair enough.
But yeah, I don't see anything happening with Nikki Bella and John Cena.
Here's my 1B. I like this match. It was hard for me to not put this as a number one category. Seth Rollins versus Triple H.
In a non-sanctioned match.
Yep. The non-sanctioned match. Once again, Seth Rollins, Triple H. They know each other's moves.
Love their intros. Okay, before we continue with this match, why is it they didn't do any special intros for any of those wrestlers except for Seth Rollins and Triple H?
Sasha Banks came out in that car. She probably looked at him and said, 80 yards, I'm cool. I ain't walking down that.
I thought that was good. Well, I also read that they should did it with Undertaker They let
No.
him use a motorcycle.
They put him in about 2/3 of the way and then had him come up. They were like, they looked at him. He didn't go over there going, no, I'm cool. They were like, no, we're cool. You're gonna go right here and you're gonna go up.
But it still took a long time for him to get.
But they timed it. It was like 5.5 minutes before he could come out, or before the time it was all said and done. And he came up 2/3 of the way closer than anybody else.
I was like, wow, I'm like, really? Okay, so yeah, no, I love the Triple H with the whole escort with the police, cop cars and all that, and Seth Rollins with the fire on the stage. That was pretty much
It was well done.
So I love this match too. Like the Shane versus AJ, Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. They got story behind it. There's a chemistry between those two, and yeah, I love the match.
I think that's why I like these matches so much more. The Seth Rollins match, the Chris Jericho matches, things like that, because they have a history.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems like right now, WrestleMania over the last, we'll see, 4 or 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like they just kind of like, oh crud, we're at Fastlane, we better put some stories together.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it's like, okay, the Triple H and the Seth Rollins match, it's had a little bit of history. It's had about 3 months to kind of really put together.
It wasn't. It started last year after WrestleMania or something like that. Close after WrestleMania.
Well, no, it started well after WrestleMania because he came back at Money in the Bank, if I'm not mistaken.
He did?
No, he did not.
I think he did after or something.
It was shortly after because then that's when it came. It came after the titles, the brand split.
Yeah.
Because that was closer to September.
Mm.
And that's when Seth Rollins lost the title, or didn't get the title, and he handed it over to
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Okay.
So there's that. But still 6 months.
Yeah, I mean that's a long time.
Still a good storyline, kind of getting together. Actually, 8 months, because that's when Kevin Owens was the title holder. That's when him and Jericho were getting together.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll say 8 months. But it was still a good. There's still good stories that branched off of each other. Good match overall. Probably my 1B, because there's just no way I can change anything else. My fan favorite was me, because I'm a Randy Orton fan, defeating Bray Wyatt. But this made absolutely no sense. And to me, I think that Randy Orton only won this championship because he was jobbing to win. He got completely manhandled by Brock Lesnar. And so Vince McMahon said, hey, I owe you, so here's your championship. Have it for a couple months. You may lose it at Payback. I haven't decided yet. It's kind of what it kind of looks like to me.
Well,
and way to take away another Bray Wyatt run.
Well, Randy Orton will not lose his belt to Payback because it's a Raw pay-per-view.
Fair enough. I apologize.
But yeah, the finisher. I didn't know how Randy Orton won that match. I mean, like you said, Bray Wyatt was just beating up Randy Orton like
the whole time.
Like really, and I love the effects that.
He was scrolling with his mind. He was doing all these cool things.
Off, they put like earthworms and
maggots and cockroaches and
like,
whatever.
Oh, dude, the first and the referee was too slow, but after a while, like, oh, I'm supposed to get out the ring.
Yeah.
Like, hurry up, ref, get out. But I love that. Like the rest, I like the chemistry between Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. I wish they put Bray Wyatt kept the title with him longer, but we expect Randy Orton to win that match. And spoiler for SmackDown, Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper, I believe, were helping each other on Randy Orton, and then Rowan came back and helped Randy Orton, or vice versa, one of them.
Really? Okay. Something to look out for then if you haven't, if you're tuning in here not noticing that you should be watching SmackDown at the same time, just to be safe, because I know they still run for about another 20 minutes if you're on the West Coast.
Or if you're watching this on my camera, SmackDown's could be finished already.
Yep, absolutely.
It gets cut off.
But what this also does to me is this also reminds me that Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, it started to seem like things were getting rushed. Like, oh crud, we're running out of time. Here, hurry this up. You're going to win, and this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah, after the Seth Rollins versus Triple H match, it just got boring. Like,
it did.
The fans just got tired because they're like, okay, no more. There's no point in cheer. I mean, there's always that spots where people cheer, but yeah, it just got worse. Seeing Brock Lesnar versus
The Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg was absolutely horrible. It was okay. We knew that he was going to lose. Mm-hmm. That being Goldberg, we understood that. He just had a little bit of a run, just that way he could. I really think that they were putting this on so that way he can go in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. I really think that's kind of what it was pushed for
next year.
For next year.
I mean, that's gonna be a good one. They would have Goldberg
and Taker.
Yeah, in New Orleans, I believe that's where they're going next year. Yeah.
So Brock Lesnar wins, and everyone's saying that he's going to have this thing for a year.
Because they're ready.
Because they want Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Because they're ready setting up. He's not scheduled to fight in Payback, in which I hate this is the reason why I hate Brock Lesnar the most. Because, well, first of all, I gotta say that match lasted longer than a minute. So good job for both of them for handling that.
It lasted 5.
It's more than...
It's 5 times longer than any other match they've had.
Yeah, put 3 together, even including the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
They lasted longer than that. But they pretty much had 2 moves set from both of them. They were doing spears and Suplex City.
Yeah, I was going to say there was only 4 moves between them both. So, yeah, it was... Well, they have 5 if you want to count the pin.
They have more moves than they have for the WWE Championship game, which you could download on your phone to play.
Still going. But yeah, it was not a good match. Wasn't really satisfied with it. But then again, you kind of it's kind of something you expected. And once again, same rush. Mm-hmm. And so did this match. The Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Natalya versus Carmella versus Becky Lynch versus Mickie James to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Naomi wins this one. We kind of said that. We kind of said, oh, she's back. It's in Florida. Mm-hmm. She's winning it. We kind of predicted it. We threw it out there. We already kind of knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, and that's pretty much why I said the last 4 matches was pretty much boring, because we really know the outcome. I mean, and there were no interference, no like, oh crap, we didn't expect that. We pretty much expect everything the way it was.
Yep.
And then the last match,
I think the Randy Orton one kind of threw us off a little bit. I said that as a fan favorite, I kind of wanted him to win, but as a Bray Wyatt, I kind of expected Bray Wyatt to win.
I mean, for you probably. For me, like I had a feeling Randy Orton's gonna win.
Right. Last one: Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker. He defeats The Undertaker, and you saw him on Monday Night Raw. I watched the first part of Monday Night Raw, and he kind of walks in and he says, "This is my yard now," drops the mic and walks out.
Lasted 5 minutes before he even say a word.
Yeah, because they were saying a lot of profanity towards that kid. He was getting yelled at. He was getting booed off the.
I think that's the reason why I love Roman Reigns, just because of the heat he gets for no reason.
Yeah,
and
I like Roman Reigns too.
I mean, he defeats Undertaker, but Brock Lesnar defeats Undertaker, and they praise Brock Lesnar.
I didn't.
Like, why? And he beat Goldberg, and they're blowing Goldberg because he's a part-time. Hello, Brock Lesnar is a part-time too.
Yeah. I don't know why I think Paul Heyman's just a good salesman, and that's why Brock Lesnar is loved so much, because if it was just Brock Lesnar, people would get tired of just who Brock Lesnar is. Paul Heyman sells that all the way through.
Oh, I'm getting tired of Paul Heyman because he says he's not like how he is before when he was running ECW.
Right.
He has a lot of things to say. Now he's just saying one line every time. Who's Brock Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. So.
Shut up. But Roman Reigns wins. Undertaker puts his whole garb, his jacket, his gloves go first. Mm-hmm. And he takes off his gloves, and he takes off the jacket, and he puts on the hat, or takes off the hat. I thought
he was going to actually take his pants off, so, because you see, like, he was...
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
I was like, oh, he's going to take his pants. Nope, he's just fixing it.
Then he folds up his jacket, puts his gloves, and then he puts the hat on top. Mm-hmm. Which leads us to believe that Taker's done. I think everyone pretty much kind of expect that. Did you expect him to lose that last match, though? I mean, a lot of people still think that Roman Reigns should not have won that match. Which, by the way, that's my number 2 match of the night. And it's hard for me to do that because Taker's an all-time favorite, and I thought he did it. And actually, for being 52 years old, did a damn good job.
He didn't look like he aged at all. He looks like the same Undertaker from the beginning and now.
Well, there was times where Taker looked like an old Taker, but this looked like a good Taker. The last couple of Takers we've seen have been good, but he lost, and it's kind of like a part of my childhood just went with it because that's Attitude Era, and the last one we've really got is Triple H.
Well, I mean, I like that Undertaker lost because I mean, he's not knowing that. I bet you now he knows like he's not about winning. He just likes to be in that stage and helping the newcomers or just helping someone out, passing the torch. And so that's pretty much what he did with Roman Reigns was, here you go, I'll let you win. And pretty much it's not where Undertaker looked tired or like against Brock Lesnar where he forgot to get up.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty much, he pretty much battled the whole way, and
Roman Reigns did it right.
Roman Reigns just being Roman Reigns, and he did it, and people hate him all they want, but I'm just going to be here and cheering for him no matter what happens with Roman Reigns. Cause
very rarely do we agree, because I'm a Roman Reigns fan too. I like him. I think he's a good wrestler. I think that he's, man, it's so hard to hate. I just still don't understand why people hate him so much, and I understand why people can hate him. But wow, there's a lot of people. What's that?
Why they hate him?
I think it's just because the whole. I think there's a lot of attitude behind it. I think there's a lot of attitude behind it because he expects to be the big dog kind of thing, the big dog attitude.
Well, I heard for one his moveset.
That's fine.
It's too small. But then I was kind of interacting with. Look at Lesnar.
John Cena does the same thing.
Look at John Cena, and now people are saying all of them don't really have that big moveset. Okay, then why you still hate Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns still does the Samoan drop. That's a very signature moniker. He has the Superman punch and the spear. Those are the three big ones. I get that, but he's able to do side suplexes. He's able to do suplexes pretty much at his own will, at his own accord. He's still able to do.
He makes good promos no matter what. I mean, what he did last night was pretty much the best he could ever get, and
everyone hates him.
No one, you can't get better than that. I mean, you can say all you want to say with him, but at the end of the day, it's Roman Reigns. He's gonna. I don't want to see him win a title. I like to see him how it is right now and the way he's fighting to get that title. And then we're gonna see. I mean,
it'll be him and Brock Lesnar WrestleMania 2.
A lot of wrestlers,
34, I should say.
A lot of heel wrestlers, they're gonna get cheered no matter what. And so hopefully they'll do that with Roman Reigns, or they're gonna treat him like John Cena, where you're gonna have both the cheers and the boos.
I'd be okay with that. The problem is that I'm seeing a lot of boos, and I don't like that. I think that Roman Reigns has definitely earned a lot more cheers than what he's getting right now.
I mean, that's when you know you're doing something right. When
True.
You get the boos.
True.
Because I mean, I'm saying it because it's wrestling, and you know you're doing something good when you can get that boost. Because in the end, it's gonna turn around, and you can get that cheers when you see someone else. If not, then he's just going to be the baddest player in town when it comes to wrestling. So, boo-hoo, guys.
Yeah, boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo.
So before we let things go, before we take our last break of the evening, the overall grade.
I have to say a B plus to A minus.
I was at A minus
because it had, like I said, it had the matches. I love the matches where he went with. There's one or two matches. Not including the pre-show because pre-show is pre-show. But yeah,
I'm going B plus, and the only reason why I say that is it was a good WrestleMania all the way until about the last few matches where everything seemed rushed. They rushed things a little bit too much, but I still think that the matches had the good intent and good quality. But then you start to hit the last end, and then it starts to get rushed.
I think after they did the when they did a music performance, that's when they just became okay. Time.
Yeah, now that's when they got rushed, and that's when things got screwy. So
But shout out to Tinashe, love her.
She did a great job.
I mean, if she didn't do a good job with the national anthem, she just looked smoking hot.
That's true too. So there's our grades. Let's go ahead and take a small break. When we come back, we're going to welcome Sam back, who's been hanging out behind the camera and getting extremely sweaty. So when we come back, we'll get his final take, and we'll be right back here on 209 Sports Talk. Welcome back to 209 Sports Talk here on the 209 Sports YouTube channel and on the Pacific Tiger Radio Network. I am JD Jeff Dominic along with Sam Maluth and as well as Mr. DJ JOD Mark Itleong. We have just now tidied up with our final grades for WWE WrestleMania 33 that was played in Florida, and
Orlando, Florida.
it was, as if you just now tuned in, I give it a B+. Mark was on the fence of A- to B+. I think he finally finished off with an A-, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
And then Sam gave it an incomplete because he's not sure.
That's correct.
But nevertheless, so there's that. There's a lot of things going on here on campus at the University of Pacific. We want to make sure we give those out there here right now. For Tiger Radio, we're going to be at the JL Gym, I believe Thursday, and I believe they changed it to. I don't know if they're going to be there tomorrow. They may be there as well, but they will be there Thursday, representing the 3-on-3 tournament that's coming up on April 29th from 12 to 6 p.m. Also on the JL Gym. Lots of prizes, T-shirts are going to be given away. There's going to be quite a few other things that we're going to be doing throughout the time. 3-point contest, $30 to sign up. $5 if you're going to go ahead and just do the 3-point contest. $30 you get a 3-man team. Get a T-shirt. Going to be lots of fun representing Tiger Radio and University of Pacific. Tiger Baseball going to be in full effect Thursday, Friday, both times 6 o'clock, and then Saturday at 1 p.m. Just a reminder, BYU does play it on Saturdays just because there is something to do with their travel schedule. That's why the days are a little bit different. So there's that to take an effect as well.
Plus, they don't play on Sundays.
Yeah,
they don't play on Sundays. I know it's kind of. I was trying to be as nice as I could about that. Saying that.
I mean, everyone knows that. I mean, it's not to hide.
No secret.
Yeah.
It's not. You're not being offensive. It's just like I'm assuming that for religious reasons they don't play on Sundays.
Right. So there's that, and that's why.
Like the Carmelo, he doesn't play on Sundays because Melvin doesn't say it's the guy who the Utah Jazz.
But
Carmelo.
So there was that. Am I missing anything else? I know there's Tiger Day coming up that represents all the high school students that are coming in, and I know we'll be on location for that as well for the University of Pacific Tiger Radio. I'll be hit or miss because I'll be bouncing back and forth between baseball games. But if you do come by, stop by, say hi, sign up. You can go to tigerradio.net. They have the sign-up forms there as well. Mark, am I missing anything that I need to make sure that everybody's aware of?
Yes, tomorrow night, Real Talk, Annie B. Real, and myself.
Perfect.
Don't forget to check out the Pacific Tigers question of the day.
What's the question of the day?
The question of the week is...
Or of the week, okay.
I forgot how I said it, but pedicure and manicure.
Oh, is it manly for men to get manicures or pedicures?
Yeah, and
something of that nature.
For a girl, if it's a turn on, turn off.
Yeah.
What you guys thought. So, Sam, if you've seen that, if you follow Facebook, make sure you comment that. You too, Jeff. And do not just say it. It's on manly.
Sam, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, let me hear it. I know you're not going to respond.
Manicure, pedicure. Is it manly?
No comment.
No,
why not? You can go there.
No matter what you say.
I don't do that thing, and I have no interest in doing so.
Okay.
That's your response. Okay.
Yeah,
we're good.
You're good. I'm not gonna say anything bad about it. I mean, it's your opinion. So.
It's stuff that he's using for his show tomorrow. That's why he's asking.
Okay.
Yeah, because Chris Cannon, one of our guys that just come in out of nowhere.
He's the guy that hooked us up with food last time.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's pretty much He's the
food. He's the food fairy.
That's it.
He came last week, talk about it. So I was like, I should see how people respond to it. So I mean, we have pretty much both answers like what you said. So I mean, no biggie on what you said. I mean, we're not gonna put you down for it. So I mean,
no,
if
absolutely
you feel
not.
that way, you feel that way. I mean,
unless it's Jeff, then
For what?
Then we have to give him.
Oh yeah, of course. I do that every day, all day, every day.
Every day he's hustling.
I get on there every time you answer in some weird way. So I mean, it's nothing new. So
nothing new.
Look what he's wearing right now. It's nothing new.
I'm wearing BYU colors. I won't wear it tomorrow though. I ain't stupid.
Not really. BYU's like a darker blue than that.
Can't get much darker than the blue that I've got on. Says the guy that's wearing UNC colors.
But he's not a UNC fan because of the education.
Right.
I'm wearing an Adidas hat. It has nothing to do with UNC.
It's the color.
It's the blue.
You're talking about. You're talking about.
If I had this mic right now, I'd drop it.
I'd pick it back up, put it back.
Of course he would. I bet she would like. Wait, hold on. So technical difficulties right now. Look at the mic that Jeff just dropped.
But ultimately. So there's that. We got all that stuff going on.
Yeah, so don't forget Real Talk, Andy Be Real, myself tomorrow night.
Good show.
6:30.
Definitely a good show. Plenty of shows going on here. I believe Wednesday there is Tiger Talk with Taylor Johnson and John Mark Vaness, 10 to noon. I know that Danny Mayer and McKay Koisian will join in from 11 to 12. So a lot of Tiger baseball players going to go ahead and chime in about their game yesterday and probably the series coming up
and I believe
tomorrow.
Red Tape at 4.
Or Thursday, excuse me.
So
yeah, plenty of things going on right here. So be sure to tune in for them and for sure. Now, as far as we go, I believe we will not have a show next Tuesday, just so everybody's aware, due to some scheduling conflicts. Almost said cornflakes. I did. I really went there.
Speaking of cornflakes, next Monday we will have a show, Andy Be Real and myself, Real Talk.
So
just want to plug that up.
And we're starting a new show coming up between myself, Mark Itliong, and the Dr. G.
What show is that?
We'll be talking about that here soon. You know what show it is. We're finally going to be able to kick it into high gear.
What show?
We'll talk about it.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about it.
Talk behind my back.
Of course.
That is.
That's how we do things. So let's go ahead and wrap things up. Let's go ahead and hit the music for Dr. G.
I'm trying to find it.
Gotta find it.
We got to get out of here before we pass out from heat exhaustion.
I think that's only you.
Yeah, I know.
I think I'm fine, and I'm the bigger guy here, and I'm fine. And you're the one drinking a lot of water.
It doesn't matter.
You still.
It's the hat. It's keeping all the heat in.
That's
Right.
what if we're wearing UNC.
Boom.
It's not on
North Carolina's
purpose.
hat.
The rest were terrible. The rest were a joke.
Gotta thank Dr. G for being able to allow us to do what we do on a regular basis, which is come out here and give a call towards the 209 Sports. Once again, thank you very much, Dr. G, and always allowing us to go ahead and getting us out there to start doing a little bit of athletics is always a fun time right here at University of Pacific. So that is it with that. We're done hearing the Alabama theme song. Let's play the real theme song. There we go. University of Pacific Tigers. Got to thank everyone at the communications department. Thank everyone over at the athletic department as well. For DJ JOD, Mark Itliong, he's Sam Maluth. I'm Jeff Dominic saying have a great rest of your week. We will be back here. I will be back here voice-wise on the Tiger Radio Network on Thursday, 6 o'clock, first pitch against BYU. Have a great rest of your week. If we don't talk to you then, have a great time, and we'll see you then soon.